My dear brothers and sisters, the gospel reveals to us the mercy of God, the love of God. And then he tells that woman, sin no more. Jesus is granting her a new life and asking her to live in that grace. And so, my dear brothers and sisters, however deep may be our failures, whatever be our sins, God's mercy is much more bigger, much more greater. So, we need not be afraid to come to Him. Rather, place our trust and love in Him. The gospel, it was very clear why that woman was brought in front of Jesus. It was not they were not worried about the sin of that woman, but they wanted to test Jesus. That was the primary reason why they brought that woman in front of Jesus. So there is a trick in the question. And what is that trick? According to Moses' law, the woman need to be stoned because she has not kept up the commandment. She has committed adultery. And when we look at from the perspective of Roman law, the Roman law do not give capital punishment to anyone. It forbids the capital punishment. So Israel was under the clutches of Roman Empire, and so the Roman law was prevailing in the Israel. So according to Moses' law, she should be stoned to death, and secondly, according to the law of Roman emperor, capital punishment should not be granted to any person. So treachery lying down by bringing that woman in front of Jesus. Contradictory laws are there. Now, when we look at the very act of the scribes and the Pharisees, they are not doing justice to this particular woman. Why? Because when someone is found guilty, a proper trial has to be given to that particular person. Proper trial means both man and woman has to be brought before the courts. There should be two witnesses, and if found guilty, she should be punished, and that man also should be punished. But at the same time, her husband or the life partner can forgive her, and he or she must be the first to throw the stone. So in this case, the proper trial has not taken place. And secondly, only the woman is there. And where is the man? Which again indicates she must have committed the crime, or maybe she must have been raped, or sometime she must have been falsely accused. So only she is there. And maybe the man must be a person having hold in the society, a prestigious position may be holding, or he must be very rich. Therefore, they do not dare to bring him into the public or before Jesus. So it is very clear that woman was not given a proper trial. Secondly, justice was not given to her. And so, what does Jesus do? Jesus is bending down and then he is writing. And so, in order to put Jesus into trouble, they are asking him for the second time. And so, what does Jesus say? Those who have not sinned be the first to throw her. Those who have not sinned. And Jesus is bending down and writing. And what does Jesus writes? Sometimes the scholar says he looks at the elder one and he writes the sin of that particular person. So when he writes down the sin of the eldest, he goes away. So looking straightly at their eyes, when he writes their sins, they are going away. So everyone knows that Jesus knows the crowd personally, their failures, and all of them leaves. That may be the particular reason. Not even one person stoned her. And Jesus and woman is left alone. Nobody else is there. And now when we look at Jesus, Jesus has no sin. He knows no sin. And what does Jesus say? Neither do I condemn you. Jesus is not accusing her. Jesus is not getting angry with her. Rather, he says, sin more and sends her away. So Jesus is giving a new perspective of God's love, his mercy and forgiveness. He is accepting her as a lost sheep and asking her to live a new life. And we do not know what has happened with her in the future. Now, when we look at our life, we always act not just like Jesus. The Pharisees wanted to stone her. They are sinful people. Still, they wanted to punish that particular woman. We may not be throwing stones at others, but at the same time, look at our character, how we malign the name of other people. How do we breed hatred in our life? Look at the families. Even we accuse the life partner, the previous wrongs the person must have done years back, maybe beginning of the marriage, even maybe at the time of engagement. We carry on, we breed, and we condemn, we accuse other people, and it does not matter even our life partner, we accuse and we put blame on the other persons. So my dear brothers and sisters, today the Lord is calling us back. The Lord is asking us to return to him. However deep may be our sin, God's mercy and love is much more greater. We need to be, as Jesus is dealing with the other person, that we need to forgive, we need to forget, and we have to become real children of God. We have to become real disciples of Christ, not merely in our prayers, not merely coming for Sunday obligatory masses, rather by bestowing God's love, his mercy, especially in our family, and imparting that to our coming generation.